What is lactose and what is its intolerance about?
Lactose is the sugar which is present in milk and milk products. Lactose intolerance is nothing but a deficiency of the lactase enzyme.
Is lactose intolerance similar to that of a milk allergy?
The worst thing that can happen to me with lactose intolerance is
One thing that also confuses me a lot is dairy free and lactose free. How are they different? So one more interesting finding that I came across, the prevalence that they found of lactose intolerance in North India was 27% as compared to South India, which was at 66%. So why is this gap? Lactase enzyme pill, is this really safe and effective?
I wouldn't recommend it as an everyday thing to do because
Hi everyone tuning in to our channel today. Welcome back to Ask Amita podcast. So in life in general, we become intolerant to a lot of things, to our conditioning and all our limited beliefs. But one thing that we turn intolerant to also is lactose. So today we are going to talk about lactose intolerance.
okay.
And the first question would be, what is lactose and what is its intolerance about?
Wow. Yes, we do truly become intolerant to lactose, and that happens to us as adults mainly because the gene that is responsible for the expression of the enzyme called lactase, which helps us to digest the lactose, that gene stops or reduces its expression as we grow older. Now, in some people this happens when they turn 16, in others this happens when they turn 40. But eventually all of us do see some or the other form or degree of lactose intolerance. To answer your question on what is lactose, lactose is the sugar which is present in milk and milk products. So it's a naturally occurring sugar. The carbs in milk are lactose, and when our body is not able to digest them because of the deficiency of the lactase enzyme, is when we start seeing some symptoms like indigestion or flatulence and gases when we drink milk. Some people like me, we get like a small tummy ache, or sometimes if I've really gone for it and had, say, a cold coffee, for example. I don't really do that now because I've learned it the hard way. The consequences of drinking, say, a cold coffee or a frappe when I have lactose intolerance, it meant that I had to rush to the loo, which obviously none of us wants to do. But yeah, so all of those are symptoms wherein you could get diarrhea because of it, or you could also get flatulence. You just could have your tummy rumbling, telling you that, Amita, you did not make a good choice.
Yeah.
So all of that is possible. And so essentially lactose intolerance is nothing but a deficiency of the lactase enzyme.
Right. So is lactose intolerance similar to that of a milk allergy?
No, it's different there. So where allergies are concerned, you will also get symptoms like rashes, or your face and ears and everything is going to swell up. If the allergy is very severe, then you would find that your throat is choking up, or you're not able to, you'll find difficulty in breathing, which can also lead you to anaphylactic shock. Thankfully, lactose intolerance is not the same as a lactose allergy,
Okay.
which means that the worst thing that can happen to me with lactose intolerance is that I will get diarrhea.
Okay.
And if I keep on repeating that behavior, then I will have trouble with my absorption, or I will lose body water and things like that, which would happen because of a constantly occurring diarrhea. But thankfully not a big symptom like my ears and nose swelling up or face puffing up. That doesn't happen. That's the difference between an allergy and your lactose intolerance.
Right. So, so some of the symptoms you've mentioned, like the rumbling and diarrhea, what are some other symptoms that a person can assume with the lactose intolerance?
So you will find that you are not able to digest not just milk but milk products as well. So you will find that you have difficulty digesting curd, or you have difficulty digesting paneer, or cheeses would make you feel uncomfortable. It could also give you headaches. Some people get headaches as well as a symptom, and because of that, it also means that a lot of times the food that you have in front of you, if it does contain dairy products, then you will not be able to eat it unless of course you are willing to say just go through the discomfort of it. Now what does happen here though, I don't want to make light of an intolerance, because every time you are subjecting your body to something that you are intolerant to, you will find that the symptoms of intolerance actually keep on increasing. So, and which is why a lot of times people actually stop the dairy products only once they have realized that dude, it's giving me a lot of diarrhea, or it's just too much of flatulence, or too many stinky farts, or too much rumbling and tummy ache and everything, is when they stop. So the symptoms actually begin a little as mild symptoms pretty early, but it takes people some time to notice it and then to act on it.
Right. Are there any particular biochemical tests which are available to know that I'm lactose intolerant, or is it just the symptoms that we have to observe on?
So lactose intolerance, you could get an IgE test done for that, but you will see a positive result only if your intolerance is very severe. So most lactose intolerance is diagnosed only through such symptoms and through what one can call like a self-analysis and self-awareness, where you are eating something and you look at how you feel. But it's only when you have like a very severe case, then you could get it tested.
Right. So in India, milk is literally everywhere. So every household is filled with tea, some mithais. How is it that one person is expected to control, the lactose?
Unfortunately, the only way is to avoid milk. One thing to remember is that when you are avoiding milk, then milk is, or dairy products, dairy and dairy products are a very large food group. And if tomorrow someone is telling me that you can't have any dairy, then it means that a large part of, say, my protein that is coming in, or if I'm a vegetarian especially so, or even the calcium that is coming in, then that adequacy is at risk. So what one needs to remember is that if you are eliminating it, because that is the only way, although you're lactose intolerant, everyone's lactose intolerance for that matter is also going to be dose dependent. Okay, so to give you an example, I'll continue with my own example, because I struggle with it every single day. Now if I have anywhere around 50 ml of milk, so say in a cup of tea and some more milk in the smoothie that I have, I'm fine. It doesn't affect me. But if I go and have another cup of tea in the afternoon, for example, or if I drink a little more, tea, then that's going to give me trouble. Okay, so everyone's say the dose threshold of lactose or how much milk they can have is something that you arrive at through trial and error. Thankfully, a lot of people who have lactose intolerance, they can digest curd. Okay, because the lactose in curd or in buttermilk is already pre-digested by the lactobacilli in it, by the probiotics in it, because of which the lactose load in curd or yogurt and your buttermilk is lower, and hence thankfully even I can have my yogurt or my curd. But you may find that you are going to struggle with eating or digesting high protein yogurt. So it's different for everyone. There are no standard rules out here, unfortunately, and it's something that we have to come at only after experimentation.
Yeah. So even if the experiments are causing trouble, but they'll help you establish a relationship.
Yes, and one should assess that and not keep on, keep adding in more factors. For example, don't be having, if you are doubting that do I have lactose intolerance, then on the same day don't be having too many dairy products, stick to just one. So that way you can understand what the variables are. and otherwise, so even milk, ice cream for that matter. So ice cream and gelatos which are made from dairy, or even cheeses like mozzarella, or all the cheeses for that matter, they all will have lactose to some extent or the other. So everyone's threshold being different, you have to experiment with different kinds of cheeses and the quantity of it to be able to ascertain.
What would be your little tips on these experiments? How should one go about it?
So you start with a 50 ml thing. If you are able to digest that, then the next day it would be with 50 ml of milk. You should also try adding in, say, 100 ml of yogurt or curd to your diet. If that is okay, then add more yogurt to your diet, because you have to, within the entire spectrum of dairy products, you have to prioritize a bit. Okay, so for example, for the longest time I kept on experimenting with paneer. Because to my mind and to my understanding, of course being a nutritionist, paneer is a very good alternative in terms of my protein requirement, right? But I found that if I am having say around 25 grams of low fat paneer, I'm okay, but anything more than that, it gives me trouble. So that is how I arrived at the fact that I can't have paneer, because 25 grams paneer is really nothing. But I do know that I can digest, say, my curd or the yogurt that I'm having. So that bit I stick with, and I have my yogurt every single day. One beautiful thing here is that even if you are lactose intolerant, thankfully you don't have to avoid ghee.
Okay.
Yeah, because ghee is a pure fat, it doesn't have any lactose. So thankfully anyone with lactose intolerance will not have to give up ghee, although you do need to be careful how much ghee you are adding in, because it's a saturated fat at the end of the day.
So one thing that also confuses me a lot is dairy free and lactose free. So what's the difference between one, and what a lactose intolerant person can have between two?
Okay, great question. So when we say lactose free, those products are dairy products which have a lactase enzyme added to it, because of which the lactose within that product, for example lactose free milk, is going to be digested, not 100% but to a large extent. Okay, that is how it becomes lactose free.
Okay.
So you also find protein supplements like isolates, which if you read the label, it says lactose free. So that, like concentrates, they have lactose, but isolates, whey isolate, will not have lactose for the same reason that they have lactase enzyme added to it. Okay, but if you look at dairy free products, now what is dairy free? Anything which is not coming from an animal. Okay, so all of your plant milks that you have, so it could be soy milk, almond milk, or even your oat milk, all of these are dairy free milks. So there's no dairy component to it, and that's the difference. So it's very, very different. One is coming from an animal source with an enzyme added, the other one is a plant source.
Okay. So also, like, majority dependence of the lactose intolerant people is on the plant-based milk. How should they be careful about their calcium intake and protein intake per se?
So see, I am a big believer that we should not be super reliant on milk as a source of big nutrition for us. So like I said, if you are lactose intolerant, most of us, you will find that we can digest yogurt. So make yogurt your best friend and use that to meet your calcium requirements, some protein requirement as well. And if you are someone who has a very severe lactose intolerance, then you need to look for other sources. So your protein requirement can come from your plant or animal based sources if you are a non-vegetarian. And your calcium and all can always come from grains, like you eat millets and you eat halim and you take in some nuts and seeds and everything, so you will get calcium from that as well. But in that situation, you need to be careful and you need to be mindful of the fact that you have those sources in your diet every day.
So one thing that is overlapping with the lactose intolerance is the cow's milk allergy. So what's the difference between two, and how are they different?
They are completely different. So lactose is a sugar which is present in all milk. Okay. be it cow's milk, buffalo milk, goat milk, camel milk, breast milk, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the sugar present in all milk products. Cow's milk protein allergy, which is CMP allergy, is an allergy specific to cow's milk only.
Okay.
It's a protein that people are allergic to, because of which they will keep on getting indigestion, constant burps, gases, similar sounding symptoms to lactose intolerance. But the problem is that with the cow's milk protein. So
Okay.
someone with a cow's milk protein allergy, if they switch to buffalo's milk or even goat milk or camel milk, they will not have trouble. Okay, but they are specifically allergic to cow's milk protein and cow's milk products. So cheeses and yogurts and everything is something that one needs to be careful of. This actually is the very reason why a lot of times when Indians, they migrate to the US or Canada, and they come back to us even at the clinic saying that, you know what, when I was in India, I never had problems digesting milk. But now I seem to have so much issue, but I'm okay with, say, yogurt when, or even milk products when I come back to India. Here I can digest it, but there I can't. Because here in India, a lot of our population drinks buffalo milk, but in the US and Canada, you drink a lot of cow's milk.
Right.
And you could be, without realizing, you could be allergic to cow's milk protein and hence see this difference.
Right. So one of my friend who is lactose intolerant, so she sometimes indulges in some, say, pizza or but alongside she takes a lactase enzyme pill.
Yeah.
So is this really safe and effective?
So lactase is also known as Lactaid. You have different brand names of it, of course. It's more of an SOS situation. I wouldn't recommend it as an everyday thing to do, because that lactase is going to do only a bit of, say, small damage control. But if you keep on repeating it, then there is going to be a point where your body will say that, hey, you're abusing this situation here and I'm not okay with it, and give you diarrhea. Okay.
Right.
So once in a while, if you're lactose intolerant and say you're traveling to Europe and you really want to have the pizza in Italy, then once in a while it's okay, but don't make a habit of it.
So in this case, how much would be too much abuse?
So if you start having lactate or even lactase enzymes every single day, say straight 7 days in a row, that is what I would call abuse. So like, take it only as SOS or once in a while, but of course under prescription from your doctor or your clinical nutritionist.
Right. So one more interesting finding that I came across. So one disclaimer is that this study is very old, so from 1980s, but the prevalence that they found of lactose intolerance in North India was 27%, as compared to South India, which was at 66%.
Yeah.
So why is this gap so huge in terms of percentage?
It could be because in South India, the usage is more like the whole diet is more centered around curd. So the lactose load is lower by default. But in North India, you're generally used to drinking more milk, with your, say, breakfast and even post lunch or post dinner. That is the practice where people are, even when they grow up, they tend to drink more milk. So the sheer exposure of it is higher. Whereas in the southern India, you will find that after a while people don't drink so much milk, but they do have a whole lot of curd and buttermilk. That could be the reason in the differential load of lactose that you're drinking, because of which you could be seeing this difference in the prevalence.
Interesting. So if there are some people who go off milk or gluten, and is it the same reason that they later on become intolerant towards it on skipping it for a longer time?
Yes, absolutely. That's a great point actually. When you turn vegan by choice, I will call it vegan, or when you become dairy free by choice, what does happen is that you are telling your body that this is not a food product, or this is not a compound which you are going to be exposed to. And then one fine day, if you suddenly have it, or you go to Amritsar and have a lassi, you will find that you could be now lactose intolerant, because you were not simply having it every single day. that is also possible, yes.
True. So I have all my questions answered. If you have any more, please drop them down in the comments below.
And of course, as always, make sure that you share this episode with everyone, and do let us know what other topics you would like us to cover on this Ask Amita podcast. See you soon.